Welcome students to another session. I am making this video in the book because the board is not available, so kindly adjust. The ratio of the speed of electrons in the ground state of hydrogen to the speed of light in vacuum is, we have to find what is the ratio of V divided by C. Now V here is the speed of the electron and C is the speed of light. So we have derived an expression for speed. Speed V is equal to E square divided by 2 epsilon naught into NH. N is the number of orbit, H is the Planck's constant, E is the charge on the electron. Okay, now here in the ground state means N is equal to 1, because in the question he is asking you what is the ratio of V divided by C. So V divided by C becomes equal to E square divided by 2 epsilon naught into CH. So if you put all these values, that is in the place of E, 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 whole square divided by 2 into epsilon naught. Epsilon naught value is 8.85 into 10 power minus 12 into C value. C value is 3 into 10 power 8. Okay, and H value is 6.6 into 10 power minus 34. So when you calculate this, you get 1 divided by approximately 137. So option C is the right answer. Let us see the next question. A sodium atom is in one of the states labeled as lowest excited levels. It remains in that state for an average time of 10 power minus 8 seconds before it makes a transition back to the ground state. What is the uncertainty in energy? So here they are asking you what is the uncertainty in the energy of that excited states. See, basically what it is saying is, let us say there is an electron which is in the ground state, n is equal to 1. From n is equal to 1 it went to n is equal to 2, and from n is equal to 2 again it came back to n is equal to 1. So during this duration, the time duration was 10 power minus 8 seconds. He is asking you what is the uncertainty in the energy. Uncertainty in the energy is given by the expression delta E is equal to H upon 2 pi divided by delta T. So H is 6.6 into 10 power minus 34 and 2 pi 2 into 3.14, and time delta T, the transition time, is given as 10 power minus 8 seconds. So if you solve this, you get 1.05 into 10 power minus 26 joules. But if you look at the options, they are in electron volts. So you have to divide by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules to convert that into electron volts. So you get 6.56 into 10 power minus 8 volts. Okay, electron volts. So option A is the correct answer. So for uncertainty in the energy, you have to remember this expression delta E is equal to H upon 2 pi divided by delta T. The third question, let us see. An energy of 24.6 electron volts is required to remove one of the electrons from a neutral helium atom. The energy in electron volts required to remove both the electrons from a neutral helium atom is. See, helium atom is 2He4. That means it has got 2 protons. It will have 2 electrons also. The first electron is removed with an energy of 24.6 electron volts. So now the second one has to be removed. So that means when you remove one and only one is left, it is like a hydrogen atom only. So what is the energy expression? It is 13.6 into Z square by N. So for helium Z is 2, and we are talking about the ground state, because all the electrons are in the first orbit only. So E will be equal to 13.6 into 2 square by Z is equal to 1. 2 square by 1. you get 54.4. Now this value is in electron volts. So the total energy, it has got 2 protons, that means it has got 2 electrons. First electron is removed with 24.6 electron volts, and second one can be removed with 54.4. So what is the total energy required? E is equal to E1 plus E2. E1 is the energy required to remove the first electron, E2 is the energy required to remove the second electron. So the total energy will be 24.6 plus 54.4, which is 79 electron volts. So option A is the correct answer. Okay, let us see the next one. The 3 stable isotopes of neon Ne20, 21 and 22 have respect to abundance of 90.51%, 0.27% and 9.22%. The atomic masses of the 3 isotopes is 19.99 atomic mass unit, 20.99 and 21.99 units respectively. Obtain the average atomic mass of neon. You see, there are 3 isotopes of neon. The first one is available in abundance in 90.51%. That means out of every 100 neon isotopes available, 90.51 are neon 20, 0.27 are neon 21 and the rest are neon 22. We have a concept of weighted average. The weighted average is what we have to find here. The weighted average M is equal to, the formula is M1 N1 plus M2 N2 plus M3 N3 divided by N1 plus N2 plus N3. So here the question is given in terms of percentage. So denominator, if you see, you get 100. We are talking about, let us say 100 neon items are found, isotopes are found. So 90.51 are M1 weight, 0.27 are M2 and 9.22 is your N3, right? And their individual masses are given. So M1 is equal to 19.99, M2 is equal to 20.99 and M3 is equal to 21.99. See, most of the items are of the weight 19.99 atomic mass unit. So your answer will be closer to that. You got 20.177 units, which is closer to 90.99. It is like this. I found 100 items, 95 are 20 kilos, remaining 5 are 50 kilos. So most of the items I found, the average will be more closer to the 20 kilos value. Okay, so 20.177 is the answer here. Consider the nuclear fission reaction. Ne20 gives rise to 2He4 plus C12. Let us see whether this equation is correct. So if you see the masses 20 on the left side, on the right side it is 2 into 4, 8 plus 12, 20. Okay. Given that the binding energy per nucleon is of Ne20, He4 and C12 are 8.03, 7.07 and 7.86 million electron volts respectively. Identify the correct statement. So here he is asking you, he has given you the energy involved in the process for the 3 quantities. Energy of 11.9 million electron volts is to be supplied. Energy of 12.4 million electron volts will be supplied. 8.3 million electron volt energy will be supplied. Energy of 9.7 million electron volt will be released. Supplied released concept is coming. See, basically we have discussed this point that you have products, you have on the left side you have reactants, on the right side you have products. Here Ne20 is products, Ne20 is reactants. Left hand side you have He4 and C12, these are products. So if there is a mass difference involved, so equivalent amount of energy will be released. So there will be a Q value. Now that Q value basically is delta M into C square. But here in the question the things are given in terms of energy. Okay, so we have to see whether energy reactants minus products, if it is positive, reactants minus products, energy, if it is positive, it is energy released. If see left hand side more energy, energy is released. right hand side more energy is absorbed. Okay, so we have to find the total energy. So initially 20 into 8.03. all right, binding energy per nucleon is given. So how many nucleons are there? Any 20 means 20 are there. 20 into 8.03 minus, now we have to write the products. For products 7.07 is given for the helium. Total how many nucleons? 4. 4 into 2 He4 is created. 2 numbers of He4 is created, isn't it? So 2 into 7.07 into 4. And when you talk about C12, only one atom. So 7.86 into 12. So if you calculate this, you get 9.72 million electron volts. Now what is this energy? This energy is released. So option D is the correct answer. Let's see the another one. An unstable heavy nucleus at rest breaks into two nuclei which move away with the velocities in the ratio of 8:27. The ratio of the radii of the nucleus consumed to be assumed to be spherical is, see, the atom is considered to be spherical, the nucleus inside is also considered to be spherical. Now here velocity ratios are given and is asking you what is the ratio of the radii. Now here we can apply the concept of law of conservation of momentum, because there is a heavy nucleus is there. Now it has broken into two pieces. You remember that bomb explosion problems, it is similar to that only. So here m1 v1 is equal to m2 v2. So v1 by v2 is equal to m2 by m1. Now it is given that they are in spherical shape. So what is mass? Mass is density multiplied by volume. Alright, so let us say density is rho. So rho times v is equal to mass. So v1 by v2 is equal to m2 by m1. m2 by m1 will be equal to rho times volume 2. Volume 2 will be 4/3 pi r cube. So r2 cube will come. In the place of volume 1, r1 cube will come. So when you solve this, you get v1 by v2 is equal to r2 by r1 whole cube. From there you can calculate r1 by r2, which is 3:2. So option A is the correct answer.